This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning. More tributes pouring for Obi Wilshcombe. 2,800 apply so far for only 300 jobs, with the British Colonial Hotel set to reopen in December. And a 44-year-old man shot dead outside a home. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's here. It's the start of the end of the old way. Revolution. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahams. It is Wednesday, September 27th, 2023. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Chester Robards will be joining us. Also this morning, get a preview of the Dragon Boat races set for the next few days. And in business, it's our twice-monthly segment with Access Accelerator Small Business Development Center. They're celebrating their 5th anniversary, and they've made some big announcements for their future. We'll get details about that coming up. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, investigations continue now into the country's latest homicide. A man who had previously been charged with murder, but had the case against him dropped, was shot and killed in Pinewood Gardens. This happened on Monday night. The victim is 44-year-old Edward Butler. According to his brother, police say Butler was standing on the front porch of his home on Acacia Street in Pinewood Gardens around 9:09 p.m. when someone in a black Nissan Note pulled up and shot him multiple times. Police say the occupants drove off. Butler was rushed to the hospital by friends who told the Nassau Guardian they were able to get him there within 10 minutes, but during their desperate drive to the hospital, they were intercepted by a police escort. They were also in touch with police control room before they arrived at the hospital, but Butler died before he could get treatment. On September 19th, 2017, he was charged with the September 4th, 2017 murder of Elton Hanna. According to police, Hanna was shot dead outside his home on Croton Street in Pinewood Gardens. Butler received a nolle prosequi in the case, which is when the prosecution abandons the charges against the defendant. Butler's friend said he was solely focused on his one daughter. Nearly 3,000 people descended on Andre Rogers Baseball Stadium in New Providence to apply for 300 positions at the soon-to-be-open British Colonial Hotel. Area Director of Human Resources and Training for the Point, Latoya Kemp, saying 2,800 people came in person to the stadium. Today is day 2 of hiring for the British Colonial, and Kemp expects the turnout to be just as busy as yesterday. According to Kemp, some people who will get acceptance letters have already been identified. The tributes continue to pour in for the late Obi Wilshcombe. Former Director General of Tourism Joy Gibberlew remembered her old boss as a leader who was dedicated to his country and whose contributions in the tourism sector will leave a lasting mark. As you know, the 64-year-old Wilshcombe died in Grand Bahama on Monday. The Minister of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting previously served as Minister of Tourism from 2002 to 2007, and again from 2012 to 2017. Gibberlew, who's now CEO of the Nassau Paradise Island Promotion Board, said Wilshcombe played a fundamental role in developing sports tourism. Advocacy group Women United said it was close to reaching an agreement on amendments to the Protection Against Violence Act with Wilshcombe before he passed away. Wilshcombe instrumental in the amendments to protections against violence and gender. Women's groups were pushing for amendments to the bill, which was recently passed in both houses of Parliament. They want amendments that will, quote, bring it in line with some of the fundamental elements of the gender-based violence bill, which they had long advocated for. Overseas, a fire that raced through a hall hosting a Christian wedding consumed a hall packed with guests in northern Iraq. The raging fire seemingly caused by fireworks set to celebrate the wedding. We're told the fire killed around 100 people and injured 150 others. Authorities warning today the death toll could still rise. Authorities say that flammable building materials also contributed to the latest disaster to hit Iraq's dwindling Christian minority. In the fire's chaotic aftermath, officials offered conflicting death tolls, and security officials say they had detained staff at the wedding hall as part of their investigation. The fire happened near Iraq's Nineveh province. That's a predominantly Christian area just outside the city of Mosul, some 335 kilometers or 205 miles northwest of Baghdad. No official word on the cause of the blaze, but the Kurdish television news channel Rudaw aired footage showing pyrotechnics shooting flames from the floor of the event and setting a chandelier aflame. And a total of 192 Azerbaijani troops killed and 511 wounded during Azerbaijan's offensive in Nagorno-Karabakh last week. That's according to the country's health ministry. It also said that one Azeri civilian died in hostilities. Officials said earlier that at least 200 people on their side, including 10 civilians, were killed and over 400 wounded in the fighting. The military operation allowed Azerbaijan to reclaim full control over the breakaway region that was run by separatists for about 30 years. Tens of thousands of ethnic Armenians, more than a third of the region's population, have already left. More are likely to follow after separatist troops agreed to lay down arms, and Azerbaijan lifted a 10-month blockade on the road linking the territory to Armenia. In sports, the Bahamas senior women's football team, this is soccer, wrapping up the first two-game window of the 2023 CONCACAF Nations League on the road in Grenada, falling 4-1. Head coach of the Bahamas, Rukia Bain, saw some bright spots for the Bahamas in the first two games, though. It's the first time in a very long time the Bahamas fielded a senior women's team in competitive matches. Bain says she likes how the foundation looks. Sunday saw the Bahamas tying the game 1-1 at first before Grenada started to run away with things. You can read all about it in today's Guardian Sports section. For Major League Baseball, the Milwaukee Brewers clinching the National League Central title with help from the Major League Baseball leading Atlanta Braves. Milwaukee claimed the division crown for the third time in 6 seasons Tuesday night, despite a 4-1 loss to the last-place St. Louis Cardinals, with the help of a come-from-behind win by the Braves. Milwaukee clinched the second division crown in 3 seasons when the Chicago Cubs dropped a 7-6 decision to the Braves. Atlanta overcoming a 6-run deficit to eliminate the wild-card contending Cubs from the division race. Milwaukee crowd roaring, and the 9th inning as the Cubs-Braves game was shown on the scoreboard. And from the WNBA, Aja Wilson responding Tuesday night with 30 points and 11 rebounds to lift the Las Vegas Aces to a 91-84 victory over the Dallas Wings and a 2-0 series lead in the WNBA semifinals. Wilson becoming the first player in WNBA playoffs history with 3 straight 30-point games. Las Vegas also received contributions from Chelsea Gray with 23 points and 8 assists. Kelsey Plum with 18 points and Jackie Young with 13 points and 9 rebounds. And more from the WNBA with their season on the line. Sabrina Ionescu and Bettine Laney taking over to help New York even their playoff series with Connecticut. Liberty, Jonquil Jones's team, beating the Sun 84-77 Tuesday night to knot their playoff semifinals at 1 apiece. Game 3 is Friday night in Connecticut. Before the game, Stewart was awarded the league's MVP trophy by WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert, much to the delight of the sellout crowd that included Grammy Award winner Alicia Keys. Stewart edged out Connecticut's Alyssa Thomas and Las Vegas' Aja Wilson in one of the closest races ever for the award. The entire Liberty team wore MVP Stewart shirts in warm-ups. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for a first look at weather. Your first look at weather brought to you by Nescafe Coffee. We've got low to mid-level troughing combined with streaming tropical moisture that continues to produce a wet weather pattern across the islands, while high pressure generates gentle to fresh breezes. We've got some special warnings. Boaters and residents should be alert for waterspout or funnel cloud activity. And beachgoers, especially in the central and southeast Bahamas, should be cautious due to the high risk of rip currents. Public's being asked to remain hydrated as well as expecting another day of high heat indices. For the northwest Bahamas today, forecast calls for partly cloudy to overcast conditions, hot and humid with widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Some showers could be heavy and thunderstorms strong to severe at times. Small craft should be alert for gusty winds and higher seas in or near heavy showers or thunderstorms. Winds east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, falling light and variable at times, seas 2 to 4 feet. For the central and southeast Bahamas, variably cloudy, hot and breezy with a few isolated showers or thunderstorms. Gusty winds and higher seas expected in showers or thunderstorms. Winds easterly at 10 to 15 knots with higher gusts, seas 2 to 4 feet. Temperature-wise, we're looking at highs getting up to around 91 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius, but the heat index will make it feel a lot hotter than that. And overnight lows tonight getting down to about 82 Fahrenheit, 28 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook coming up after traffic in just a bit. Your first look at weather brought to you by Nescafe Coffee. Elevate your coffee experience with Nescafe Gold. It is time for a break, but when we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories. Right here on Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Your home for fresh news and smart talk all day.
The
signs are clear. It's time to pay less for your current mortgage by switching to Scotiabank. Enjoy lower interest rates and no payments up to 2 months when you switch to Scotiabank today. Plus, we'll even pay your switch costs. It's that easy. Ready to switch to Scotiabank? Call us today at 242-356-1697 or visit bs.scotiabank.com to switch your mortgage to become mortgage-free faster.
Wherever you're headed, the Custom Computers Know-How team is standing by to help guide you in the East and the West. We now have 2 convenient locations on Patton Street in Palmdale and our newest store in the Caves Village Shopping Plaza through the Blake Road entrance. Discover the latest products by top international brands and the knowledge you need to unleash tomorrow's technology today. Drop by Custom Computers out east or out west. We're open Saturdays from 10 till 4.
The Access Accelerator Small Business Development Center is here to help small businesses throughout the entire Bahamas. To better serve you, we've made it easier to contact us. Call 461-7232, WhatsApp 359-0626 or 359-2394, email helpdesk@spdcbahamas.com, or submit a ticket when you visit our help center at accessaccelerator.org. The Access Accelerator, empowering small business.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's there. It's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also streaming on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rates apply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now, Chester Robards.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Great to have you with us.
Glad to be here.
Coming up this morning, we've got a lot to go to talk about. We've got the dragon boat races coming up. You are familiar with this. This is the second year of it now, I think.
Yes.
And you're one of the dragon boat racers.
I'm currently a part of a team, yes.
Well, look at that.
A team of many teams.
Okay. All right, we're going to find out more about that. And it's this weekend.
Yes.
Saturday.
All
right, we'll get details about that.
On Sunday. It's 2 days, eh?
Yeah? Okay. Yeah. That's coming up. And then later in business, it's Access Accelerator Small Business Development Center, their 5th anniversary. They celebrated that last week, and they've got, as they announced last week, they've got some things going on, things planned for the future. We'll find out more about that this morning. That's all I had. But first, right now, it's time for what else is in the news. And in the news, the tributes continue to pour in for Obi Wilshcombe. Quite a few stories in today. Georgia Blue, the former Director General of Tourism, praising her old boss, and there's more. Some of the women's groups are talking about how close they were getting to amending some of the legislation. And so you can pick up today's NASA Guardian and read more about it. There's an interesting letter in, well, I haven't read the whole thing, but seeing the headline. And the headline says, "Too soon for by-election talk." Well, letter writer, I'm sorry to tell you, no. The Constitution says it has to happen within 60 days. 60 days of it being vacated, and so no, it's unfortunately not too soon. The Constitution requires that to happen probably before the end of November. So no. If you have an issue with that, then again, we've got to make some amendments to our Constitution, something the Bahamian people seem to be very reluctant to do for some reason. But I guess they didn't like that people were talking about that already on Monday, within minutes of hearing the terrible news. But, well, that's unfortunate. All right. Elsewhere in the news, we've got, I saw the big lines yesterday, and the lines are out there again today. 2,800 people applying for jobs at the new British Colonial, or the reopening British Colonial Hotel, set to reopen in December. Nearly 3,000 people showing up for 300 jobs.
Well, all of those people didn't show up at one time. They applied.
Throughout the day.
Well, they applied. There's 2 days of, so today they're
so they're counting what's going to happen today as part of that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So they applied before they went to the stadium.
Very organized.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The Department of Labor has been doing a good job actually on these.
Oh, so the
job
Department of
fairs.
Labor is involved in this.
Yeah, they're helping the British Colonial out with that.
So people just aren't walking up on the line.
Right.
You can't do that.
Right.
Okay. Chester
And they want you to
wrote the story, so that's how he knows about all this stuff. We're going. Tell us more, Chester.
No, but they want you to be prepared. So they tell you, you got to bring this, and this. The Department of Labor also has a skills bank with people who are already registered for, to do things. Maybe they're housekeepers and bartenders or whatnot already in their system, so they know who to contact for these kinds of opportunities when they come up.
Okay.
But again, like you said, it's only 300 jobs. And almost 3,000 people.
All right, so what do you know what time it started yesterday? Because, that was, if these people were...
I can't remember, it was very early in the morning.
Yeah, because that was a long line yesterday.
Yeah, and they finished at 4 o'clock, I know that.
I see.
But they got through everyone who came.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Excellent. So this is going to be a part of the Point group, and that comprises the British Colonial, Margaritaville, and one particular harbor.
Right.
Yeah. So, all right. Do we know anything else about the new British Colonial? What that's going to look like? Is it going to be branded, associated with the international brand? What do we know? I know
so
they're looking for somebody.
Right now, we haven't heard about an international brand.
Still.
And they're 2 months away? So.
Well, less. Yeah. Yeah.
But they've completely redone the hotel from what we've heard. If you happen to have driven up into the Point's parking garage and peeped over into where the pool area was, you'll see that they absolutely completely tore up that entire place. Whatever you remember the back there looking like is
the gardens
and the pool and where the pool was, and the garden, and there was a restaurant bar kind of thing in the back there.
Does it look better?
I don't remember. So the last thing I saw was dirt and construction. But they mentioned 2 pools, so I can't imagine
Because the gardens of the British Colonial
right.
were quite nice.
Yeah, the little grassy area.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what they've done.
Interesting.
But yeah, I'm sure, these landscaping people work miracles sometimes. But they mentioned 2 pools. They mentioned completely redoing the rooms. The foyer of the hotel, completely redone. Ballrooms, new restaurants. They have, how many restaurants they had before? 2 maybe? If that?
Maybe 3.
Yeah?
Wasn't too many.
Yeah, but they have more now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we're looking forward to it. Should be exciting.
Yeah, it should be, yeah. Absolutely.
We're going to be able to do much with the rooms. They were kind of on the small side.
Yeah, well, I don't know if they made them bigger, but they redid the rooms.
They
according
reduced
to
the number of
what
rooms,
we've
made
heard.
them a little bit bigger.
Reduce the number of rooms? I don't think
They wouldn't do that.
I don't remember the rooms, to be honest. So
Okay.
you got to pay more for more space. Maybe
Sure,
you
they would
didn't pay
love-
for the big room.
No, I don't know if that's how it works, but okay.
It's a whole place. Well, they can fix that.
All right. So good luck to everybody who applied. Again, it's only 300 jobs, but maybe you will remain in the database in the future. And
Well, they
if anything
also
opens.
they also picked up some people for Margaritaville, as Kemp said. So
Okay, excellent. So there are details about that in today's NASA Guardian, folks. All right, this person, you got some of your text messages. You can text us and call in as well. Text us 422-4796 or tweet us, Facebook us. I'm refusing to call it X. I'm not going to do it. What are they going to do?
so it's not a tweet anymore? What is it?
I mean, when they want us to do X us, send us an X, please stop. I'm not doing it. Elon Musk, whatever, sir. Twitter and tweet us. And at Morning Glen 969. Or call us 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. They keep saying formerly Twitter, that's what people say.
Yeah.
On
They
X,
keep-
formerly
yeah.
Twitter. Like, this is the artist formerly known as Twitter. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
No, it's dumb.
I wonder how long they're going to formally Twitter.
X. So call us toll free, 242-300-5720. This person says about the by-election talk. 60 days is a long time. Talking about it next week would be fine, but this week it could wait. I hear you. This one says not even 300 jobs. Some of the restaurants won't be opening at the same time as the hotel opens. Do you know about that?
Okay, but they're still going to need the people.
So it is 300 still.
They're preparing to open.
Yeah. Hiring you now.
Hiring
you don't
now,
have to
yeah.
wait. Yeah. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Brother Day, this back in the West. We need justice, law, and order in the Bahamas here.
Hi, good morning.
Dwight, I have a question for you, but first I want to ask Chester a question. Chester,
Yes. Good
How are
morning.
you?
Good morning.
wonderful. What I want to ask you, right, is the British colonial still the same color? And on the west side of it, do they still have the playhouse there?
I have no idea. A playhouse?
Yes.
What kind of play? I don't know.
They had a playhouse there.
For who? What kind of playhouse?
Well, they call it a playhouse, you know.
What did they used to do there?
Well, I don't really know. I was there with a friend one time,
Oh.
but it's called a playhouse.
Well, at this moment, it is still the same color.
Okay.
But
And they haven't done anything with the western side where was next to Long Wharf Beach. That's where the playhouse was, between the hotel and Long Wharf.
there's
my,
a lot
things have changed a lot,
since
Bremen.
then.
Say it again?
Things have changed a whole lot since then. I mean, you
I
know,
was
there's
wondering.
Margaritaville and
One
one
particular
particular
harbor,
harbor,
there's
two
a
giant
parking
hotels
garage.
there. Yeah, it's a whole new world there.
I got you.
Yeah.
So, Dwight, let me ask you something. Who are the proprietors of Guardian Radio nowadays?
What do you mean by that?
Who owns it?
We are part of the Guardian group of companies, Guardian Media Group. Uh-huh.
Okay, so it still belongs to those Greek people?
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Say it again?
Why are you asking this? The principals... anyway, why are you asking this? What's the issue? What's the deal?
Say it again?
Well, what's the reason you're asking this question?
Well, because I knew time back, that's the way it was. So I don't know what's happening now. That's why I had asked you.
Mm-hmm. We're part of the Guardian Media group of companies, which has a number of principals. Okay. I don't. Oh dear Lord. What is? Okay. Thank you, Braven. Thank you very much. If I was feeling a little out of it earlier, I think I'm back now. Thank you, Braven. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
What do you say after that, Chester?
But why did that person? I gotta ask. Why did that person feel the need to write this letter? I haven't heard anybody talking.
You know, when we talked about it on Monday, we definitely did. Others did as well. So the letter says, we just mentioned this will trigger a by-election.
One,
yes. So there was no who you think is going to run. None of that type of talk.
That's the big issue.
Right. None of
the fact that there's going to be one.
Right. Just the fact that this will
we shouldn't talk about it?
I don't understand. But let's see why they're bringing it up. The letter says that on Monday, as I listened to the commentators over on ZNS, well, that's your first problem right there, right? Emanating from the northern Bahamas, I heard comments like, quote, who should replace him? Boy. Quote, there is a deep bench. My goodness. And, quote, maintaining that seat. See, this is why. Yeah, well, I get you. Yeah, that is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Yeah. That's not the time.
So that was directed to those folks over
there. Yes. Well, because we certainly, nobody here, I don't think,
sitting on the ridge
talked about that. Right, like I think they should put Thingham there. No, that's ridiculous. It's been just hours. Seriously.
Yeah.
They said the letter says it appears obvious to me that they were referencing the vacancy in West Grand Bahama and Bimini created by the untimely death of Obie Wilshcombe. I thought that the timing was off. Yes, it seems too early for such political chatter. We are all aware that eventually a replacement for Wilshcombe will emerge in one form or another because nature does not like a vacuum. But for now, let us focus on his enduring legacy, his display of civility and grace towards humanity in general. Resist the temptation to crank up the political engine just now. Waiting until his remains are eulogized might not be a bad idea. Obie Wilshcombe was a football guru, so to borrow a football analogy, those comments were, quote, offside, meaning too quick. It was a slight blimp on what was otherwise an excellent coverage. Okay, I hear you. I'm inclined to agree on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
On that level, yes. So sure, but again, boy, oh boy. Anyway, some more of your text messages. The person says here, Dwight, are these almost 3,000 people who are applying for these jobs foreigners? Oh my goodness gracious. Remember that there is a narrative in this country which says Bahamians don't want to work, and your station pushes this nonsense. How does this station push that nonsense? The station pushes it, or people call in and say that, and texters say that. But the station pushes it? That's the opinion of many people in the Bahamas. But that doesn't, so be careful with what you're saying. Chester, those people, I can't say. I saw a bunch of people. I assumed they were Bahamians.
The positions, most of the positions were line staff that they were applying for, and I'm almost 100% certain that you're not going to find people applying for line staff jobs who are foreigners.
What now? Where did you get that from?
I'm talking about in this process.
Oh, so I don't know if the person suggesting that though, while those people may show up there, the jobs may go to foreigners.
People who are foreign don't typically, I think, apply for a job like that. Okay. In the normal course of business,
right.
They're found by the company and not, kind of applying. I mean, they do apply, but when the company asks for them to apply specifically, kind of thing. It's a lot of stuff.
I understand.
But in this case, I'm pretty sure they were Bahamian.
This text here. Please read, Dwight. Some of us had significant reactions to a cruise company using the word key, K-E-Y, versus key, C-A-Y. But the word colonial preceded by the word British being attached to a major development is okay? Okay, well, Texter, first of all, I mean, this hotel dates back to what? So it's
A long time.
Yeah, this is while we were under the British and under a colonial
Yeah.
system. So now, if you're suggesting they change the name because we are not happy with the past,
Can they? On a
I mean, you could do whatever you want.
I don't know. Do we call it listed? It's a historical site, right?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do that because of this is. I mean, you could have issues with the name, absolutely, but because of the historical significance, I doubt they would change it.
You know, like who was Charlotte, right? Fort Charlotte.
You've got to change a whole lot of things if you want to do that, and I don't disagree with it, but you'd have to change a whole lot of things if you really found out what these things are, who these people are that these streets are named after, and how many of them were slave owners and all this stuff, and you'd be shocked. How many towns might need to change their name? So, I mean, what are you suggesting? What are you thinking? You don't want it to be called that? What, Bahamas National Hotel? Is that better?
Yikes.
Oy. What do you think? All right. But it's a little bit different. The arguments are different. Keying, that's how we spell key. Right? That's how it's spelled.
Yeah, that's how we spell key.
From I think we got that from
At
our,
least
from
they
our
didn't-
British colonial.
At least they didn't go with QUAY.
Right. Right. I don't think.
Small blessings.
Okay. Sure. But that's interesting. I've never heard anybody really bring that up before.
Me either.
Yeah.
I never even thought about it.
No, which is weird. But, I mean, it's built in the style, right? The colonial style. And I think, I don't know. Historians, call in. Tell us what you think. Is that offensive? I mean, I think in this regard, as an historical...
Right. What else? It can only be what it was and is now. Right?
That's interesting. I mean, it's just getting people to stop saying the brand names that have been associated with it.
Right.
It took plenty of people many years to stop calling it the Sheraton.
Oh, really?
And then I don't even want to say the other word, right? I don't want to say the other word because people will bring it up again because people just refer to it as that brand. But interesting. Okay, we've got jokers on the text line. Oh, this is the same person. It says, Conk Bubby Batter.
Okay. We're not gonna have a
so this is
British
about to
colonial
go on.
renaming name competition. No,
Oh, my goodness.
that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I
No, I
in
don't.
this regard, Columbus statue, who even the supposedly who's that supposed to be in front of the British colonials? That's supposed to be
Woods
Woods
Rogers.
Rogers. It's supposed to be yeah, even that, and a couple other things. Yeah, sure. I mean, just even the city of Nassau, the name Nassau. You know who we're named after? I mean, so when you're getting into that, then you're gonna get into some things you don't need to.
Yeah,
Need
you
to
have
get
to do
into.
a whole lot of renaming.
You have to rename everything.
Yeah.
This person, I don't know who you are. Tell us who you are if you know this. The British colonial will not be branded this time around.
I mean, that seems to be the way they're going.
Yeah. This is
I mean, they spent a bunch of money on the hotel, 100 million.
another text. Can you leave my sweet British colonial alone? Yeah.
It sounds nice when they say my sweet British.
Maybe they could brand it that. The sweet British colonial hotel. Pardon the pun. Right?
Yeah,
Maybe
exactly.
there are
It has
those
suites.
tiny
Yeah.
suites.
Oh boy.
What? Yeah. Okay. So call in 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us 422-4796. Okay. So this person is saying they won't be branded. They're telling us they're in a position to know. So they say. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see. Does it matter? I know that back in the past, many times it's been. A lot of people said that was necessary.
So it's a management agreement, right? When you see a hotel branded, and so they bring their those brands bring their style of managing a hotel.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll just be however they manage the British colonial, their way of hospitality, delivering hospitality. But, and brands bring people, but
right. People familiar with the brand and
they already have
expectations.
They already have a bank of people who would visit those kinds of hotels.
Right. We know that when they were developing Bahamar, that was said to be extremely important to attach the hotels to a major brand.
And they have.
Atlantis managed to create its own brand.
Right.
But we will see. It cannot remember a time. I know there was a time, but it's not in our lifetime, or at least not since I was a baby, maybe, that the British colonial was not with a brand. Right? I can remember. Wasn't it a Best Western at one point?
When I was young, I don't know. Somebody.
I remember.
I don't remember what
Sheridan,
it was when I was young.
Best Western, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, people. Definitely, of course, the Hilton.
Best Western seems like the oldest that I would remember.
You remember that?
Vaguely.
Yeah. Right? Texas folks.
Best Western was a good brand at some point.
This might have been their most premium offering. I don't know. But that didn't last too long.
Yeah, no, I couldn't have.
Yeah, okay. All right. Somebody says, they're going to be dead in the water without a brand. Whoa. Well,
already?
Well, we will see. We'll see. I mean, if they play up the history that it's now the oldest of the major hotels in New Providence.
If they spend big money on advertising.
Right? Play the historical factor. Maybe not. I don't know if it's going to be ultra modern. Maybe it shouldn't be. Maybe they made it look, a theme as in old style luxury. Perhaps that might appeal to a lot of people. I don't know if that's what they're doing. They're keeping it tight-lipped. Do you know much about it?
No. I don't know what the conceptions of the place were, of the rooms, of the lobby.
Yeah.
All of that's been redone. So.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Going to be very, very interesting. All right, let's take a break. We'll be back with a whole lot more. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Aruba, Jamaica, ooh, I wanna take you. Bermuda, Bahama, come on, pretty mama. Key Largo, Montego, baby, why don't we go? Jamaica, off the Florida Keys. There's a place called Kokomo. That's where you wanna go to get away from it all. Bodies in the sand, tropical drink melting in your hand. We'll be falling in love.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
This is AP News. I'm Rita Foley. Just in, North Korea says it's expelling a U.S. soldier who crossed into the country in July, Private Travis King. It says he talked of maltreatment in the U.S. Army and racial discrimination. Now that the Hollywood writers' strike is over, when will your favorite shows return? Late-night talk shows will likely be the first to come back. The AP's Norman Hall on the end of the Hollywood writers' strike.
Leaders of the Screenwriters Union have declared their nearly 5-month-old strike over after board members approved a contract agreement with studios, bringing Hollywood at least partly back from a historic halt in production. The governing boards of the Eastern and Western branches of the Writers Guild of America and their joint negotiating committee all voted to accept the deal. Writers are free to start working Wednesday. They still have to vote to ratify the contract themselves, but lifting the strike will allow them to work during that process. I'm Norman Hall.
Groups of teenagers looted stores in Philadelphia last night, stuffing plastic bags with merchandise and taking off. Police chased teenagers running from an Apple store. They say they recovered iPhones and a pile of iPads that the teenagers dropped. This comes as Target announces it's closing 9 stores in 4 states, saying that theft and organized retail crime are threatening the safety of its workers and customers. The stores are in New York, California, Oregon, and Washington. The AP's Mike Hempen.
The company describes the decision to close as difficult. Target says it has invested heavily in strategies to prevent and stop theft and has trained store leaders and security team members to protect themselves and de-escalate potential safety issues.
Republicans meet for their second presidential debate tonight in California. Donald Trump will not attend. This is AP News. Now to Iran. The AP's Charles de Ledesma.
Iran's claiming it's successfully launched an imaging satellite into space. The state-run IRNA news agency, quoting the country's communication minister, says that the Noor-3 satellite has been put into orbit 280 miles above the Earth's surface. There's been no immediate acknowledgement from Western officials of the launch or of the satellite being put into orbit. Iran has had a series of failed launches in recent years. The US has alleged Iran's satellite launches defy a UN Security Council resolution and has called on Tehran to undertake no activity related to ballistic missiles capable of delivering nuclear weapons. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
A South Carolina woman died after falling from a scenic overlook in North Carolina along the Blue Ridge Parkway. I'm Rita Foley, AP News.
Time for your first good traffic for the morning, brought to you by RBC. Start your home journey with an RBC mortgage today. In your real-time traffic, Independence Drive, we're seeing heavy traffic, especially westbound, but both directions actually. But mainly westbound toward the roundabout with Blue Hill Road. Blue Hill Road is also going to be busy for you. North of Soldier Road, heading toward that roundabout, and near Carmichael, and also further south near St. Vincent. Then we've got Cowpen Road, seeing some heavy traffic eastbound toward Faith Avenue and further east toward Blue Hill Road. And then Zion Boulevard into Bamboo Boulevard. That intersection with East Street looking heavy for you. North of Sapodilla Boulevard, you're going to see heavy traffic on East Street straight through to the roundabout with East-West Highway and Independence Drive again. Prince Charles Drive. Major issues near the intersections, so near Fox Hill Road, near Beatrice Avenue, and especially near Soldier Road, where Prince Charles becomes Robinson. Heavy traffic, bumper, not moving between Soldier and Old Trail. And Soldier's busy for you north of that intersection, straight through to Bernard Road, Village, and Wolf. Eastern Road, heavy traffic, well east this morning. This is almost to Winton Highway. This is unusual heavy traffic from there straight up to Johnson Road. That is not looking good for you. You might want to take your chances with Prince Charles Drive this morning. You might want to, although it's pretty bad there too. Or wait till 9 o'clock. And then we've got Mile Butler Highway, heavy traffic from south of the Fire Trail roundabout straight up to Tawny Williams-Darling Highway. Glaston Road also busy for you from Fire Trail straight up to JFK Drive. Building traffic at that roundabout with JFK and Bahamar Boulevard and the Six-Legged roundabout, and on Saunders Beach near West Bay on Saunders Beach near the Providence Highway. Those are your hot spots right now. We'll have another update for you after the 8 o'clock news. Morning Blend traffic brought to you by RBC. Visit rbc.com/take 60 seconds to connect with RBC today. And time for another check of weather for today, brought to you by Easy Car Sales. We've got low to mid-level troughing combined with streaming tropical moisture. That's going to continue to produce a wet weather pattern across the islands, while a high-pressure ridge will generate gentle to fresh breezes. For today, for the northwest Bahamas, look for partly cloudy to overcast conditions, hot and humid, with widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Some showers could be heavy and thunderstorms strong to severe at times. For the central and southeast Bahamas, variably cloudy, hot and a bit breezy with a few isolated showers or thunderstorms. Temperatures getting up to around 91 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 82 Fahrenheit, 28 Celsius. But with the highs today, the heat index will be a factor and make it feel a lot hotter than 91. In your extended outlook, troughing along with streaming moisture expected to remain across the islands over the next few days, enhancing the chance of showers and thunderstorms. So for Thursday, tomorrow, partly cloudy, hot and humid with scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms in the northwest Bahamas, partly sunny and hot with a few isolated showers in the central and southeastern islands. Friday, variably cloudy and hot with isolated showers and thunderstorms for all areas. We're keeping an eye on Tropical Storm Philippe, which could be weakening, but we are going to give you the details on that and more of what's happening in the tropics coming up in our next weather check after the 8 o'clock news. This weather check brought to you by Easy Car Sales. With the cost of gas today, it's time to go green. Drive an electric vehicle from Easy Car Sales. Save big on fuel and maintenance costs. Take a spin and find out how to dump the pump at easy242.com. You could win a tablet every week.
Whether you're looking for your first or new home or even using your existing home as equity, RBC understands that your journey to home ownership is unique and your mortgage financing should reflect that. That is why at RBC we have dedicated mortgage specialists that provide sound advice and helpful solutions to make your dream home a reality. Best of all, the RBC mortgage team is mobile, flexible, and will meet you almost anywhere. Visit rbc.com/take 60 seconds to connect with an RBC mortgage specialist.
Ready to save? You can put $100 into the CFAL Savings Express Plan and make sure your money keeps growing. Earn interest on your savings while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
There's a new electric vehicle in town, the Jack brand of SUVs, trucks, sedans, and commercial vans, available only at Easy Car Sales, home of the fully electric vehicle. For a powerful, smooth ride at a fraction of the cost to drive, leave the pump behind and hit the road with Jack. Visit easy242.com to see our brand new Jack models and drop into Easy Car Sales for a test drive. It'll have you singing. Hit the road with Jack, and don't you pump gas no more.
Aruba, Jamaica, ooh, I wanna take you. Bermuda, Bahama, come on, pretty mama. Key Largo, Montego, baby, why don't we go? Jamaica, off the Florida Keys. There's a place called Kokomo. That's where you wanna go to get away from it all. Bodies in the sand, tropical drink melting in your hand. We'll be
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line, powered by BTC, 422-4796. Standard text rates apply. And now at 8:20, it is time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Bahamas First Insurance. Here's what's happening. We've got low to mid-level troughing combined with streaming tropical moisture. That's going to continue to produce a wet weather pattern across the islands, while a high-pressure ridge will generate gentle to fresh breezes. Mariners and residents should be alert for possible waterspout or funnel cloud activity, and beachgoers as well, especially in the central and southeast Bahamas, should be alert for the high risk of rip currents. And everybody's being advised to remain hydrated due to high heat indices. So for today, for the northwest Bahamas, your forecast calls for partly cloudy to overcast, hot and humid conditions with widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Some showers and thunderstorms could be heavy and severe at times. Small craft should be alert for gusty winds and higher seas and showers and thunderstorms. For the central and southeast Bahamas, we're looking at variably hot, cloudy, and breezy conditions with a few isolated showers. Temperatures today getting up to around 91 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 82 Fahrenheit, 28 Celsius. In your extended outlook, troughing along with streaming tropical moisture expected to remain across the islands over the next few days, enhancing the chance of showers and thunderstorms. So for Thursday, tomorrow, look for partly cloudy, hot, and humid conditions with scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms, mainly in the northwest Bahamas. Partly sunny and hot with a few isolated showers in the central and southeast Bahamas. Friday, variably cloudy and hot with isolated showers and thunderstorms for all areas. In the tropics, we're watching Tropical Storm Philippe. More on that in a moment, but elsewhere we've got a broad area of low pressure several hundred miles southwest of the Cabo Verde Islands. That has about a 90% chance of cyclone development through the next 7 days. Okay, so Philippe, a tropical storm right now, expected to weaken during the next few days. As of 5 o'clock, Philippe was about 685 miles east of the northern Leeward Islands. Philippe is moving towards the west-northwest, well, we're the west right now, near 12 miles per hour, and westward to west-northwest motions expected over the next few days. Maximum sustained winds are near 45 miles per hour, gradual weakening again expected during the next few days. And we're hoping it's going to take a turn away from the islands, but we will continue to monitor that for you. That is your Morning Blend Weather Check. Weather Check brought to you by Bahamas First Insurance. Visit firstonlineinsurance.com and select a Bahamas First agent to purchase, pay, or renew your car or home insurance 100% online. Or just stop by any Bahamas First agent. Bahamas First, celebrating 40 years as the first Bahamian general insurance company. What's first for you comes first for us. And at day 23, time for another check of your traffic for the morning, brought to you by RBC. Start your home journey with an RBC mortgage today. In your real-time traffic, Eastern Road, things are still looking pretty rough out there. The traffic is east of San Souci, and you're going to see that long line straight up to Johnson Road this morning. You'll be heading westbound. Bernard Road also busy for you this morning, and Prince Charles Drive still near the major intersections, heavy traffic like Fox Hill and Beatrice Avenue, and Sold Road especially And Robinson Road, heavy traffic. You're not moving between Soldier and Old Trail, or even straight through to, even well past the intersection with East-West Highway and Marathon Road, almost up to Claridge Road this morning, and we're seeing traffic on Robinson Road in multiple areas, so keep that in mind. Soldier Road also looking terrible for you from just east of East Street, straight through Windsor Place, Old Trail, and that intersection with Prince Charles Drive. And then once you get through there, you'll have issues at the intersection with Wolf Village and Bernard Road. Village Road looking very messy this morning, both directions for you. Blue Hill Road near Carmichael and St. Vincent, and north of Soldier, Independence Drive, both directions, especially westbound this morning, heavy traffic there. And Milo Butler Highway as usual, heavy traffic from Fire Trail straight up to Tawny Golden Starling Highway, and the six-legged roundabout as well, multiple directions, issues there. New Providence Highway northbound to Saunders Beach, heavy traffic, including West Bay eastbound toward Saunders Beach in the roundabout and through to Arawak Key. Building traffic in Carmichael as well, westbound to Coral Harbor. So a number of hot spots for you this morning. Good luck to you. That's your real-time traffic and your Morning Blend traffic alert brought to you by RBC. Visit rbc.com/take 60 seconds to connect with RBC today.
What if your business had one device that streamlined the management of your workforce? What if that device had fingerprint biometrics and Face ID to ensure secure and reliable identification? What if your employees can use HID card tapping for quick and easy clock-ins? How about PIN entry to easily manage your diverse workforce? TriBlock HR's new clock-in device does it all, making your human resources needs simple and effective. So there's no more need for the what-ifs of HR.
Contact us today at 812-2194 or tryblockhr.com/timeclock. Schedule your free demo.
Beat the holiday rush and save big with Nassau Tiles' September to Remember sale. From September 25th to the 29th, save up to 25% off select porcelain tiles, up to 30% off ceramic tiles, and 20% off store-wide on all tiles, mosaics, thin set, and grout. Our dedicated tile experts are ready to guide you in choosing the right tile for your floor, wall, indoor, or outdoor space. Visit the Nassau Tile showroom today at 43 Doswell Street or call our tile experts at 322-2100 to make your dream space a reality.
At Wendy's, we are different. We don't just use beef, it's fresh, never frozen. Our burgers are square because we never cut corners. Served hot off the grill with fresh lettuce, tomatoes, onions, and American cheese. We believe in fast food done right. Always serving fresh, never frozen beef. Order a hot, juicy Dave single, double, or triple. Made with fresh, never frozen beef. Now only at Wendy's. Different inside and out.
The Water and Sewage Corporation wishes to advise the public, its customers, and the residents of Unison Subdivision off Carmichael Road, inclusive of side corners, that there may be an interruption to their water supplies between the hours of 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. on September 20th, 2023 for a total of 2 weeks to perform improvement works in Unison Subdivision. During this period, there may also be road closures and detour around the work areas. Motorists are asked to avoid this area between the hours of 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. The corporation apologizes for any inconvenience this may cause and appreciates your support as they work to improve their level of service.
Take some advice from your Aunt Angie. If you want to go scuba diving on your vacation, don't bedazzle your wetsuit. And you think you look great, but what you don't realize is that you look like a shiny, scaly fish. And it won't take long for a shark to notice you. Next thing you know, you're busting out every karate move you got. But if you're smart, you'll have CG medical insurance and get airlifted out to the closest hospital.
Get coverage for emergency evacuations. CG Atlantic Medical and Life Insurance. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
Too many debt bills? Overdue on loan payments? Improve your credit score and credit report with the Bahamas Credit Bureau. Shrink your debt payments with a debt consolidation loan and built-in savings that pays you 5% interest. Call 356-7764.
Whether you're looking for your first or new home or even using your existing home as equity, RBC understands that your journey to home ownership is unique and your mortgage financing should reflect that. That is why at RBC we have dedicated mortgage specialists that provide sound advice and helpful solutions to make your dream home a reality. Best of all, the RBC mortgage team is mobile, flexible, and will meet you almost anywhere. Visit rbc.com/take 60 seconds to connect with an RBC mortgage specialist.
TCL Thursdays are back and alive! Grab incredible discounts on your favorite TCL devices, like our TCL Bundle, a 32-inch smart TV and brand new 40SC at just $329. But wait, there's more! Join us September 21st and 28th for our Facebook Live party, packed with prizes and surprises you won't want to miss. It's TCL Thursdays at Alive, your ticket to unbeatable savings and more. Visit bealive.com and check out our social media pages at We Are Alive for more information. Alive, believe in best. Offers good while supplies last.
There's a new electric vehicle in town, the Jack brand of SUVs, trucks, sedans, and commercial vans, available only at Easy Car Sales, home of the fully electric vehicle. For a powerful, smooth ride at a fraction of the cost to drive, leave the pump behind and hit the road with Jack. Visit easy242.com to see our brand new Jack models and drop into Easy Car Sales for a test drive. It'll have you singing. Hit the road with Jack, and don't you pump gas no more. It's been 35 years since Custom Computers was founded, and we'd like to celebrate that milestone by thanking you, our clients and customers. You've inspired 35 years of expert service and support, partnering with the world's leading brands like HP, Apple, and Microsoft. We take pride in setting the bar for what you expect and deserve from a homegrown Bahamian business. We're here to serve you when you need us, so call 396-1101. Custom Computers, raising the standard since 1987.
Beat the holiday rush and save big with Nassau Tiles' September to Remember sale. From September 25th to the 29th. Save up to 25% off select porcelain tiles, up to 30% off ceramic tiles, and 20% off store-wide on all tiles, mosaics, thin set, and grouts. Our dedicated tile experts are ready to guide you in choosing the right tile for your floor, wall, indoor, or outdoor space. Visit the Nassau Tile showroom today at 43 Doswell Street or call our tile experts at 322-2100 to make your dream space a reality.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Well, mother said, another party, another year, everybody. Here we go, it's Novi. Santa Fe. We having a party. If you don't know, ask somebody. A jumping on party. Get ready, get ready, get ready. No chains holding me, I just need to be free. I'm ready to party. The fire in my soul.
We're back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight, Strachan along with Chester Robards. Coming in a few minutes, we're going to be talking about the Dragon Boat Races, the second year of this. We're going to get the details about that in just a bit. What was that? What did I do? Huh? No? Yes? Right? Okay. That's coming up in just a couple. Just a couple. Oh, you mean now? Hey, you ready now? In just a couple minutes. And then later in business, we are going to be talking with Access Accelerator Small Business Development Center. It's their fifth anniversary, and we'll get details about that in just a bit. Okay, so just wanted to mention this. There's an interesting article in today's Tribune. Just wanted to highlight this, and this is a disturbing trend, folks. And but anyway, listen to this. All right, so Maria Daxon, the deputy leader of the Coalition of Independents, claims she inadvertently forwarded a WhatsApp message praising the death of Obi Wilshcombe, but says she did not author the crass post. In the widely circulated message, which was originally sent, did you get it? I didn't get it.
I didn't see it.
Thank God I'm not part of these things. Which was originally sent in a WhatsApp group called Voice Your Opinion. The writer declared Wilsham's death, quote, one of the happiest days of my life. And the author of this article goes into great depth with the message, which is awful, and definitely not appropriate for these days, just, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With come on, just days within after Wilscomb's death. But yeah, so they have the whole thing here pretty much. I don't know why you'd print that. But anyway, according to a screenshot of the WhatsApp group where the message was placed, a user confronted Ms. Daxon saying it was insensitive. Daxon responded by telling the person, quote, "Please don't you tell me what to do or pass. Are you serious?" In an interview with the Tribune yesterday, Daxon denied writing the message, but claimed she forwarded it to the group without reading it.
No.
She claimed when she sees certain things, she forwards it. She said, quote, "I usually copy and I paste and I forward a lot of stuff. I forwarded this message and a couple other messages. I forwarded a couple things with this. No, I didn't read over everything I forward." Nonetheless, she defended the writer's right to express the harsh views. Quote, "This is a free country, right? People have the freedom of views. I believe in my constitutional rights, freedom of opinions, and that's what this is all about. I don't take glory for anything that nobody says."
Okay.
All right, so we're going to take that to mean she wrote it. That's a bunch of nonsense.
No, she said.
Yeah, whatever. That's a bunch of nonsense and ridiculousness. And seriously, I mean, what more? I don't understand. Would you forwarding stuff that people? Seriously? You didn't read it?
Well, that's what not reading things. Well, I guess she in some ways agrees with it. So it only had to say 2 or 3 disparaging things, and she's like, "Oh yeah, forward that."
Yeah, and of course that's going to mean that I'll be the topic of a rant or a post soon. So look out for that. Okay, because that's a mature group we're dealing with there. But interesting stuff, right, folks? Read before you forward, and think twice. Like, do I really want to forward this? Is this something that will add value to anyone's life?
She's the deputy leader of the
that
of
thing.
the what?
Whatever. But yeah. So seriously, what is this? We're not children here, right? There are other people that we're sharing this planet with, this beautiful country with. Have some decency and sensitivity, right? There's a time and a place. And read before you forward. And consider the source of things too. Yeah, I mean, we're expecting children to know these things, teenagers to know these things, but the adults are setting the worst examples, right? Sure. It's wild. A couple of your messages, folks. Well, now, okay. Mr. Wilscomb's death has saddened us in the West Grand Bahama community of his hometown. This inevitable by-election will force all those to come see about the people. Look at the map from settlements in 8 Mile Rock all the way to West End. A long stretch of road these people have been suffering. That's the government's portion of the island. Now knock on those doors with a real executable plan and look around to see the obvious neglect. This person says, "I believe her. This is the Bahamas in 2023. People are dumb enough to forward stuff without reading it. Blame the D-average." Yeah, another one says they're not believing it. She's a lawyer. They don't believe that she didn't read it. Okay, well, it's very sad. That explanation still doesn't come off right. If people are entitled to their own opinion and you forward it without any disclaimer, then it's assumed you agree with it. One time politicians know to show restraint is when someone dies. Yeah. And they just... There's more. But hey, let's leave that there. But you can... Again, just a word to the wise, right? Let's be sensible, especially at this time. Be sensitive no matter what. And we know many people have different views, different... there's no reason. What's it going to do? To bring up all the bad stuff, the bad news, the unfortunate stuff that's happened.
And when you call people out, their behavior becomes worse.
Yeah. And watch. This is gonna be a nightmare. I'm gonna be videos, posts, people shooting arrows at me, and all of us. Like, they want to talk about us. Oh my gosh, what do you think they are talking about us? Oh boy. Anyway, okay. So this is also kind of scary. In the business section, soaring BPL bills said to be imposing a stranglehold on commerce, with multiple businesses struggling to survive up to 100 year-over-year increases in their energy costs. And the article's quoting folks who are saying that this is likely to be passed on to the customers. So you were telling me off air what your latest bill is, and I don't know if you care to share that. That is a disturbing number.
No, it's a disturbing number.
And it is. Are you going to say?
It's more than $600.
Wow.
Somebody come help me.
And it's 2.5 of you.
Exactly.
That's crazy. And
I'm one of those people who turn stuff off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is insane, and we've been sustaining this now for what? This is the fourth month. It feels like it, the third or fourth month of these extremely exorbitant bills, and I mean, they're telling us that the bills will start to go down tomorrow. I mean, next month, which is pretty much tomorrow. But it's going down by pennies, the fuel surcharge. So you will not notice much of a difference, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it will be not till next year. And at that time, as we see, fuel costs are rising. So will we ever get a break? Is this the future? Is this the way it's going to be from now on with these $3, $4, $5, $6 plus $100 bills?
Seems that way.
Terrifying. Let's take this call, and then we've got to take a break. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Jeff. How you doing?
Hi. Good morning.
Yeah. It was so sad how low morale have gone among some of our Bohemians who want to be leading our country. God help us. I remember in my culture, and we still have it, when someone dies, you mourn. And you respect them, matter their political persuasion or religious persuasion. You know what I mean? And it's sad. People have contributed to this country, and this is what you do to the family. Disrespect them that way. You know, I was so angry this morning. I had to deal with it on WhatsApp, but I truly hope that, in common sense, they would distance themselves and apologize. But I'm also hoping the FNM, with the chairman, would distance themselves, because they talking about climate change. They supposed to be mourning, talking about climate change.
What? I don't understand what you're saying.
Well, once the chairman of the FNM talking about climate change, he even gave this condolence.
That's not true. That's not true. He
I have it. I have the vote note. I have the voice note.
Okay, but he did give his condolences.
Right?
He did give. I mean, what are you saying? That he should not talk about climate change or anything else at all during this week? Is that what you're saying?
I've never heard them an official note from the FNM giving their sympathy.
That's insane. They definitely did. The
that
FNM
is
did.
the thing we
No. The FNM did give their condolences, and there have been statements from.
Well, read it. I see it.
Okay, well, just because you didn't see it doesn't mean they didn't have
Yeah, but then again, I feel that he was really disrespectful. I'll have a good day, right?
Okay, all right. Well, that's boy, that's crazy, and they definitely did. They definitely did. So that doesn't make any sense at all. Even the young liberals, the torch bearers, as the FNMs are, even they issued a statement. The FNM issued a statement. I don't understand. Michael Pintard did. There have been many statements. So come on. And climate change is real, and you can't stop talking about it. I don't understand. But all right. Let's take a break. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We'll be back.
Jolly gray boat, need it bailing out. Get a sailorman sound Rolly Gray, your boat needed bailing out. Hear the sailorman sound.
Summer your way with Scotiabank. Apply for a Scotia Plan loan this summer and open the doors to your dream destination, the perfect home renovation, or prep for back to school and so much more. Enjoy competitive rates, flexible loan terms, and no payments for up to 2 months. Use your plan loan to unlock your perfect summer break. Apply for your Scotia Plan loan today and have summer your way with Scotiabank. Visit bs.scotiabank.com or call 242-356-1697 for further details.
Prevention and control of dengue fever in the Bahamas will depend on how well we can together eliminate the mosquitoes that carry the virus and their water breeding sites. This is a community effort. Every week and after rainfall, check your yard for items that hold water, tip and turn or remove. Talk to your neighbors and encourage them to inspect their yards as well. Check inside your home for places where mosquitoes can get in or breed. Use an indoor insect repellent safely to help destroy mosquitoes. Fight the bite. Do your part to protect you and your family from dengue fever. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Wherever you are in the world, Cleveland Clinic's world-class care is here for you. From Ohio to Florida to London, Cleveland Clinic treats thousands of patients every year. Ranked number 2 in the world by Newsweek, you can trust our caregivers to enhance your experience across each step of your treatment journey. For every care in the world, learn more at clevelandclinic.org/Caribbean.
What if your business had one device that streamlined the management of your workforce? What if that device had fingerprint biometrics and Face ID to ensure secure and reliable identification? What if your employees can use HID card tapping for quick and easy clock-ins? How about PIN entry to easily manage your diverse workforce? TriBlock HR's new clock-in device does it all, making your human resources needs simple and effective. So there's no more need for the what-ifs of HR.
Contact us today at 812-2194 or tryblockhr.com/timeclock. Schedule your free demo.
Struggling to repay your loan? Let us help you get back on track with payment terms that suits your financial situation and improve your credit score and credit report with the Bahamas Credit Bureau. Inquire about our restructured loans today. Call us at 356-7764.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Wait, the father is saying it, wait. I can't say it with them. You ready? Let's go back. Alright. Sailboat, got the breeze to sail. We need breeze. Sailboat, got the breeze to sail. We need breeze. Sailing boat in the harbor, got no breeze to sail. Sailing boat in the harbor, got no breeze to sail. There's a motorboat in the harbor, and I hope she will go to Lady Martha. There's a motorboat in the harbor, and I hope she will go to Lady Martha. Ain't no use for sitting down, drinking all the captain rum. Got to put her head towards my hometown. People dancing on the beach, shouting, Lady Marguerite, let's collect a package and have some fun. Oh, yeah. We gon' send this song. All right. Sailboat, got the breeze to sail. We need breeze.
We're back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan, along with almost said Stephen. Whoa. Wow. Chester Robards. Chester Robards on this Wednesday morning. Because the people put that in your head and you're like, now you think, wait, is he really? Yeah, he is Chester Robards. And we're changing gears now. We're going to be talking about the second annual Bahamas Dragon Boat Festival. this weekend. Here to tell us all about it, we're very pleased to welcome the Vice President of the Bahamas Chinese Dragon Boat Association, Susie Chan, and we have event coordinator Chiquita Archer. Welcome back. Great to have you all with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so Susie, let's begin with you. Dragon boats. Before we get into the festival, what is a dragon boat, and give us some history about it?
Okay, sure.
And for our listeners, describe what a dragon boat looks like.
All right. Basically, a lot of people that don't know about dragon boating, they would say, what is dragon boat racing about? Dragon boat racing, which has been a tradition in China for over 2,000 years, have been a modern, exciting international sport for almost 50 years now. It attracts many participants from all over the world. This unique team sport has the special ability to improve not only health of but it's especially therapeutic in breast cancer survivors, and also promotes team building within organizations. Anyone over the age of 14 with no special skills can participate. And some people say, oh, why should I join? Why should I get involved? It's a healthy physical activity which builds camaraderie and relationships within the teams, which can consist of families, friends, co-workers, cancer survivors, or any other illnesses. It's positive benefits for everyone.
All right, so this is the second year we're doing this. Why did we think that this was going to be something that we should be doing here in the Bahamas?
We brought it in because we want to bridge the cultural difference between the Chinese and Bahamians. It's our way of sharing some of the traditions that we've had for years. And also, we want to bring it to Bahamas as a tourism sport, and also something that can happen yearly. So we're trying to contribute it to marketing the Bahamas, our home, in that manner.
How did last year, the first annual one, go?
It was wonderful. Yeah. We had over 21 teams, and we also had 3 teams from from abroad, from Panama, from Canada, from the U.S. So for our first time, it was quite awesome. And this year, we have over 34 teams registered, and even people still trying to get on, but we had to cut the registration at some point.
All right, so how many people are in a boat? How does it work exactly, and how long are the races?
Okay, there's 14 people that consist of a team. We have 10 paddlers, 1 drummer, and 1 helmsperson, which is the steerer of the boat. And then, you have 2 persons as spear, just in case, or somebody get tired or anything like that. The race usually consists of 200 meter, 500 meter, or even up to 1,000 and 2,000 meters.
Wow. Okay, so what did you call him? The guy who's steering?
A helmsman.
Helmsman, okay. Does he really, if he goes off course, will the whole boat steer off into some...
Well, he's like the rudder on the boat.
So really?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
So he has to be focused.
Oh, he has to be focused.
Really?
And know how to steer a boat. A dragon boat, because it ain't easy.
Chester.
Yeah, we're asking Chester because Chester knows.
First hand.
I tried my hand at steering, and we went in circles almost.
Really?
Chester, what team are you on?
MAB.
Okay, so there you go.
Medical team.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so
we are Medi Dragons.
You're going to be...
I'm going to be paddling.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not the helmsman.
All right. Excellent. So how many teams again? You said
30? We have 34 teams registered, ready to go.
And all of them have 14 people?
Correct.
Okay, this is big.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge.
And just the excitement that's out there, even during practice, is crazy.
Now, Chester is all adrenaline. He's that junkie, right? And he wants to perform, and he's competitive. Of course you are. So this is like an event for persons like Chester. If you want to get involved and you know nothing about dragon boating, but you're always interested in being active, this is a fantastic opportunity to just come out, take a look, and experience, what paddling is all about. Even the drummer keeps the rhythm of the entire team. They're the ones in charge, really,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're the ones that say, go faster, but not really with sound in your mouth, but with a drum.
Right.
Very, very synonymous with a drum that we beat during Junkanoo time, right?
Yeah.
So that's really what it is too.
All right. So where is this happening? Where?
So it's going to be this weekend on the 30th of September on October 1st, which is Saturday and Sunday, guys, at Goodman's Bay. We're locking down Goodman's Bay, closing it off, right? But it's free.
So anyone, family members, we want you to come on out. We're going to have food and drinks, lots of food, Chinese cuisine, Bahamian cuisine, and we're going to have a really, really grand time out there. Like Susie said, there are 34 teams. 34 times 14 is a whole lot of people, right? And then we have spectators, we have entertainment, we have volunteers, we have sponsors coming. We have a lot of things going on. So we're really excited.
34 racing at the same time, or because that seems like chaos.
So it'll be during the hours of 9 to 9 to 5. So the first day on the Saturday is like heats, right?
Okay.
So they race until they're eliminated. Let's say it like that.
Okay.
So a team can race up to 7 times.
Okay.
So you have to be like Chester in shape and excited about it. I see your eyes, but very excited about
7
it.
times in one day.
Yes,
Yeah, wow.
exactly.
Okay.
And then their finals on the Sunday.
My goodness.
But everyone's going to be a part of the finals as well. So it's going to be we have youth teams involved this year as well. Last year we have teams from St. Andrews, from St. Augustine's College. We have a rowing team that's involved. So listen, we've incorporated a lot of local people who are very excited about, the introduction of dragon boat racing in the Bahamas.
We also have the armed forces.
Oh, yes, we can't forget.
We're having a competition there.
Yes, the Royal
That's going
Bahamas
to be
Defense
exciting.
Force and the police force. Yes.
Right, and also immigration
And
department.
immigration. Listen, it's going to be very competitive. Bragging rights for days, right? For years, I should say.
So do you need to know how to swim? Is that a requirement, or what do you say about that?
Well,
Yes.
we prefer that you know how
it
to
would be
swim.
best. It would be best.
Number one rule, of course, is safety, life jackets, and we also have safety vessels on out in the water. We have jet skis and boats on standby. We also have support from the Defense Force and the police with their boats. So
And the port department as
right.
well.
So
Listen,
we're covered.
We're covered.
We usually can't get people who can't swim out on a boat.
Usually, but there's that safety. If you have a life vest and you feel
comfortable,
okay.
All right, so I'm just trying to picture it. So which way are you sailing? You're racing?
No, we're not sailing.
So
This is
we
man-powered.
start. We don't.
We use the right terms.
This is a regatta of sort, but it'll be a dragon boat regatta of sort.
So
right? So we start on the eastern side,
racing
closer
along
to
the
where
shore?
the wind, where Goulburn is, and we'll be out about, I'd say maybe about 100 feet from the shore. So because we do have a swim line, we want persons to be in the water as well, away from the boats, obviously.
Okay.
But we'll be starting, so we have a 200-meter race starting from Goulburn, heading west. Our finish line is towards where the jet ski ramps are.
Right,
Of
okay.
course, we'll have all of that protected. And then we have a 500-meter race that'll be a little bit cross distance further east. So we paddle from east to west.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, so tell us more about what's going to be happening on the shoreline for folks who come out to
Excitement. We have entertainment. We have Stalit coming out, the party animal. He's going to perform. Oh, my gosh. We have
Rake and
Urban Renewal
Scrape.
Band. Yeah, Rake and Scrape. We want people to come out and have a good time, I'm telling you. We have John Canoe. Obviously, that's our thing. So if you want to be a part of John Canoe, come on out as well. We have lion dance, the traditional lion dance from China. We have those persons coming out as well. We have Kung Fu. That'll be displayed.
Wow.
The demonstration with children with Kung Fu. Susie, we have
a singer that's coming
we
out.
have Chinese singer. Yeah, we have a Chinese singer is going to be out as well. There's a lot happening. But Sunday is our official festival ceremony where all that will take place. Saturday, like I said, will be the heats. We have 2 performances. The Urban Renewal Band, there's 60 persons who are going to be in that band. They'll be performing on Saturday along with Stalit. And then Sunday is our main event, which is a ceremony where we have a flower ceremony for the breast cancer survivors, because everything about this event really too is to ensure that we give back. And the Chinese community, we're giving back to breast cancer survivors.
Right.
So the Cancer Society of the Bahamas, of course, is one of the patrons, recipients of the event.
What time? Expect the festivities on Sunday. What time?
9 o'clock. We
9
start
o'clock.
at 9. Okay, well, the official ceremony will start at 12.
12,
We have
okay.
dignitaries coming out. We have ministers coming out. We have special guests coming out. So there's a lot happening.
Somebody's asking. They're saying I can only go on Sunday. So will the food and the activities
Oh,
and the
yeah.
performances be going on
Listen.
Sunday?
Yes. You can come out now in between, like I said, 9 to 5. We'll extend a little bit on Sunday till about 6 o'clock, 6 or 7. As long as food and drinks still available, you can stay out, obviously.
Excellent.
Yeah.
This person's asking about parking. That's a good question.
We have Breeze's parking lot. Of course, we thank Breeze's so much for making their parking lot available to us. We also we were able to get the former Development Bank parking area available, but obviously Goodman's Bay proper. On the lawn, we'll be able to direct cars in that area as well.
Right. And if you do want to form a group, is it too late? Can you still do that?
It is definitely too late.
It is too late.
Yes,
for this festival,
yeah, for this
it is.
one.
But next week,
year.
come on down.
Wait, Susie. If you paddled before in Dragon Boat in the Dragon Boat Festival, and you just decide to do it now, then sure we'll
But you need to find 14 people.
But we have to find the persons, and you all have to be able.
Right.
You all have to be able to paddle.
Right. So good luck with that.
So no, we're not gonna.
That's all, yeah. But next year.
Next year, we'll be here next year.
Right.
So who was the winning team last year?
The winning team last year was Dragon Conquerors, followed by the police team, King Tides. So they were good competition last year.
And that team, I think we've seen them at the practice.
Yes.
They have their own oars. They have their own life jackets, right?
That's actually Naughty Crew.
Oh,
Naughty Crew
okay.
has been very consistent this year.
So who are
That
these people?
really is the team to beat.
These are the teams.
People,
Names.
can you tell us who's in that? Or
Okay.
or at least
Naughty Crew is a group from the Kidney Center.
Oh, okay.
And they call their team Naughty Crew.
Right.
King Tides is the police team.
And the one that won last year.
They came in second last year. The Conquerors is a community of some mainly like Bahamian Chinese background,
Yeah.
and those are like some of the community kids that won. So,
Excellent.
but I don't know. They haven't been as consistent as last year.
Listen, you're mining Chester. Chester wants to know who he's targeting.
I gotta know who my team that look out for.
Exactly.
But those guys with their own paddles and their own life jackets look very menacing.
Oh yeah.
They are the team to beat this year, definitely.
So tell us about your team, Chester. Who was on your team?
So my wife got me involved in the team.
Is she on it too?
And she's on the team.
Okay, excellent.
And it's a mix up team. So. Yeah.
Mix up, but all fun and
I mean, we like a fun team.
competitive.
Mainly medical
Very
professionals.
competitive.
Yeah,
Really?
Jay, we got Jay, Donovan Jay.
Oh boy.
We got some strong fellas
Okay.
too.
No, you're gonna do. Should be pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, so this is gonna
Just
be so
a
exciting.
tip of an advice: strong doesn't mean everything.
Yeah, no, but I have to say
need
it so that
technique.
people are like,
You need
they got Jay?
technique. No,
you know?
you need
People who listen go, they got Jay? Oh boy, they get scared.
It's good to be strong, but then you have to work in unison.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
That's one of the big key.
That's the biggest key. Everybody need to be paddling
Who's
in
steering
unison.
your boat?
They actually provide helmsmen because it ain't an easy job.
Really?
Yeah, it's not easy.
It ain't an
So
easy
you just can't
job.
pick up and say, I'm going to do it.
Oh no,
No, because they don't want you to go to Paradise Island. They want you to go straight.
had to wash breathing
true.
only. Yeah, but
That's
we have.
like
I mean, we have names like Phoenix Dragonaires. We have the Warwick Paradise Island team that's coming. Blazing Paddles. Water
Oh, I like that one.
Defenders, Komodo Dragons, Mushu Dragons. I mean, it's fun just creating names as
Yeah.
well. Hell's Gate Sea Dragons,
Oh, geez.
So I mean, we're really really excited about introducing this sport and making sure that people are enjoying themselves.
Excellent. We should be doing a lot more on the water, right? And with
Yeah.
all this water around us, we should be rowing every day.
Yes.
Of course.
Seems. So this is excellent stuff. The second annual Bahamas Dragon Boat Festival,
Yes.
Saturday and Sunday at Goodman's Bay. You got to be there.
I missed one thing, and I have to say this because it is a family event. So we do have a kiddie area. So if you want to bring your children out, we have kids' toys on sale. There's going to be a bouncing castle and some hoopla stuff. So there's a kids' area. If you want to come, please. It's a fun-filled event. 9 to 5, early morning, late in the evening. Just come on up.
All right, sounds good. Before we go, this last text just came in that says they want to be in it next year. Is there training
Yes.
that you
Yes.
can provide
Yes.
in the lead up for next year?
Definitely. There's always a safety training and a safety briefing. We have certified coaches that are out there that does this process. And once you train and you're comfortable, and then, they give you a demonstration on the water, and once you're good, you're ready to go.
So I think they want to know if they can join a team to practice to get ready for next year.
Yes, usually that happens. Sometimes people come in, I'm just myself, I want to join a team, and we try and source a team for them, or say, you can join this group, and then link them up, and you get new friends.
Okay.
Now, we have a seniors team, that actually came in. Well, not entirely. We have individuals that came in for the event. So they're forming a team. And they're forming a team with some locals, some local independents who decide, I just want to paddle.
Yeah.
So we have a team that's made up in that way as well. You don't know the persons until you get there.
Yeah.
So that's great. Of course, this week will be the week for them to practice once they come in. Today, I think we have some persons coming in.
Correct.
From abroad. So they're going to come in today, and persons who are interested, obviously, who've signed up already, they're going to join them.
Okay.
And they'll practice today, tomorrow, Friday, until race day.
You got practice today,
Yes.
Chester?
Yes, we have practice.
We do look pretty tan.
You want to come out and watch us?
Sure,
Is that what-
sounds good.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah,
I
excellent.
was just able to say
Sign up.
some.
Yeah, really quickly.
Very quickly, we just want to say thanks to our sponsors, Sand Spare, Tropic Seafood, Bahamas Waste. Sound Crate is providing, of course, our sound, staging and sound, The Point, Margaritaville, Rev, Bahamas Tourism, Power Aid, Shorewind, J.S. Johnson, Breezes, Phoenix, Carmel Brewery, Golden Buddha, VIP Chinese Restaurant, the Police Force, yes. They're assisting us as well this year. The Kidney Center, Bristol Cellars, Dalbina's, Wong's Home Center, Sunluck, Meat Max, Village Road, Professional Center, and the Rotary Club is also coming on. So we're really, really happy. And the Chinese community, thank you so much.
Excellent stuff. Chiquita Archer, Susie Chan, thank you
Thank
so
you for
much.
having
Thank
being
you
with us
so
this
much,
morning.
Dwight.
Thank you.
Looking forward to it. The second annual Bahamas Dragon Boat Festival, Saturday and Sunday at Goodman's Bay.
Thank you, Guardian Radio.
All right, we're going to take a break and be back after the news. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
So now big thing crew is just a few who just do they do and move right through. So if you are a part of what I just say, then open up your mouth and help represent me. The Bahamas is big thing, my island is big thing, all over is big thing. The Bahamas is big thing, Nassau is big thing, Eleuthera is big thing, Freeport is big thing, Offshore is big thing.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Opinions of the host and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Wednesday, September 27th, 2023. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Chester Robards. And this morning it's time for our twice monthly segment with Access Accelerator Small Business Development Center. And we're very pleased to have with us Director Samantha Roll.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Executive Director Samantha Roll with us. Good morning. Happy anniversary, 5 years of the SBDC.
Woohoo! Yes.
And we were
Congratulations to the SBDC.
Yes, indeed. We're happy to be celebrating with you all last week.
Yes.
That was quite a soiree there. Let's talk about 5 years of the Small Business Development Center and some of the milestones over these 5 years. And then we'll get into the future.
Okay. So I think, if we started from the inception, SBDC, as we always say in our speeches or our spiel, that we were established in September 2018. Funny enough, it was Minister Alcides who did the signing of the agreement with OAS, Organization of American States, to stand up the Small Business Development Center. The founding executive director, Davinia Bean, did a yeoman's job in establishing the team, starting off what we've now evolved into the SBDC. And so I think from then to now, we have achieved quite a bit. Now, keep in mind, obviously, being established in 2018, and then we had two externalities that occurred, which was Hurricane Dorian, one, and then it was the pandemic. Right. And so even trying to transact business or support businesses in that time was extremely difficult. Yeah. But there were a number of interventions that were created to support as best as possibly can. And then so SBDC continued on, and the team grew larger. The programming evolved, and the results, I believe, have improved quite a bit. And so today, we are 28 plus full-time employees strong. We have offices in Abaco, in Grand Bahama, in Eleuthera. We have offices in Long Island. And we're certainly looking to stand up a physical space or a location in Exuma as well. That is definitely one of the booming economies we have here. And so with such a small team, I said 28, and then we obviously have our advisors, consultants, and professionals that we engage from time to time to support. But we have this mantra that we say repeatedly, small but mighty. And that is true to form. The work that the team does from day to day, it's not just work. We have a team of passionate, well-experienced professionals who take on each entrepreneur to make sure that throughout the process, no matter how short or long it is, that we give our endeavor best to see them succeed.
Would you have the goals changed at all? The mission over these 5 years, have you made adjustments? What's still the same, and what isn't still the same?
Yeah, no, the mission, which is all about equipping and empowering our MSME sector here in the Bahamas, remains the same. The mechanisms and the level of effort may have changed over time, right? So when you look at resources, SBDC is almost just like any business. From a structural standpoint, we are a nonprofit organization with partners, the government being one, the Chamber of Commerce being another, and the University of Bahamas being our founding partners. It's just a matter of how we do things, how we have evolved over time, but the mission itself has not changed. The processes may have evolved or streamlined. The timing may have changed. Perhaps some of the modalities used may have changed, but the mission itself remains the same, and that is to equip and empower MSMEs here in the Bahamas, all for a more resilient economy.
Yeah. There are criticisms. People say, we've heard people say, oh, this is too rigorous. What you're asking me to do is too much. I cannot meet this, and the goalpost seems to be changing. What do you say to people who say that these are unrealistic requirements that you have for people looking for funding?
They're not unrealistic. Right? What I think is a matter of conditioning for some of us. And I believe to some degree, we see entrepreneurship in this glorified lens, right? We see it after the person has succeeded and all the benefits that they garner after their rigorous journey. It is too often where we don't speak about that journey. And, if you look at some of the most global successful entrepreneurs, and if you listen and follow them, they would tell you that they've had failures after failures. They have had to go and do things beyond what someone would believe that needs to be done. And so while, some of us sleep 8 hours a day, there are some of us that sleep 3 hours a day because of that why. Why do I want to do this? Because of that passion, because of that commitment. And the journey of entrepreneurship is not an easy one. And I believe, again, because we only see the end result for some, and it's glorified, that we really don't fully understand until we're in the trenches what it takes to endure that very same journey in order to enjoy those benefits.
Absolutely. All right, you mentioned the word success. Let's talk about that. The success rate and the failure rate of the businesses that have come through SBDC. What are we looking at now?
So there are a couple of things, and we've been asked this question of how do we measure our success, and there are ways to measure it in terms of tangible numbers, which we do track. And so I want to make sure that the public understands SBDC is about tracking and retaining data and understanding and analyzing what we're pulling from the efforts that we're doing. And so just so persons understand, on a monthly basis, we send out an economic impact survey to our clients, the entire client pool. And what we really want to understand, and I should really say specifically to the guaranteed loan program clients, and what we really try to understand is a number of things. We try to understand where they are based on their financials, right? Because our conversation with any entrepreneur at this point isn't just about, okay, we've funded you. It's now about what are you doing based on those numbers. We want to understand, your overhead costs. We want to understand what your pricing looks like, and that's based on your sales revenue. We could understand the frequency of your inventory based on how your units are moving, how your units are priced. We could look at your social media pages if you have any, or we can look at your website if you have any. Again, looking at your branding and your marketing efforts. But we do that survey and we extract the data based on sales revenue. We pull the data looking at number of employees. We look at whether or not it's been an expansion. So how many locations do you have, or where are your products found, locally or internationally? We look at all of those variables really to sum it up to the multiplier effect, right? How are you impacting the economy? How are you growing? What are some of the areas that we need to pivot or help you to pivot? So that's one element, and we do that on a monthly basis. Okay. We then obviously use some other demographics, which is gender, locations in terms of the Bahamas itself, where you located across the islands or the archipelago. And so we do that aspect. We also do the aspect in terms of storytelling, right? So we find that there are a number of successes that are just untold stories. And so while we may look at the matrix and the numbers, which are important, we also want to understand the stories. And so, the evening of our soiree, I would have told the story of a Trevor Williams who endured the pandemic itself, who stood up his business and also endured the pandemic. And then there are other stories of entrepreneurs who would have started, stopped, who would have resumed, stopped, and who now are still in business today. And of course, we do know that there are businesses that have not been able to succeed, or who have not been able to maintain or sustain, and so who have closed down. I think anyone can understand that, when you start up a business, it is difficult. And even if you have all of the right things in place, sometimes it just does not work out. And so that happens. And so it's a matter of, one, helping the entrepreneur from the onset, so looking at business viability, but then also once they've gotten started, whether it's startup or existing to expansion, how do we support to make sure that they succeed? Now, in any organization, any individual, we're not perfect. We would have experienced a number of hiccups, missteps, shortfalls. That happens, particularly when you're trying to make sure that you're ironing out the kinks, whether it's in your process, whether it's in your people management, whether it's in helping to make sure that the messaging in the public is the right message. And so we are not a bank, right? So that's one thing. The other thing, too, is we offer so much more than just grant money.
Yeah. All right. So, can you give a number as to those that have come through that actually are not in existence at the moment?
The businesses, the pool itself? No, at the moment we're looking at that. To give an exact number, I would be guessing.
Right.
And so I don't want to do that.
But as you say, the failure rate is great in the country, and so that is almost to be expected. That some won't make it.
Some won't make it.
No matter what.
Correct.
Yeah.
But our job is to make sure that we direct and guide appropriately. So, for example, even from a funding standpoint, some persons believe that traditional funding is the way to go. How do we then create other funding mechanisms to where we know going through a traditional bank simply will not work for you? And so we're trying to find other ways. Then it's part of it too is working with entrepreneurs who've been in business for many years, who have come to us for funding, and then it's hard to recondition what they've been doing in the past to what they should be doing in order to sustain. And so that has occurred across a couple of our clients as well.
Well, mentorship is a big part of this as well. And we know prior to this, there was not much of this happening here. Have we shifted that culture, reprogrammed people, now reconditioned them to accept on both sides the fact that I should mentor others and that I should be willing to be mentored? Are we seeing that on both sides?
We are. Are we fully there yet? No, but we are. But we've heard the stories of even some of our clients mentoring their employees. I mean, I believe the farmhouse was on your radio show the other day, and listening to his story and how he's mentoring his group of employees, and that's the type of pass on that we would like to see. I certainly know that SBDC helps to mentor, and what we've created within our ecosystem is finding other, whether they're strategic partners, whether they're even financial institutions that do a level of mentoring, because there is, and then other stakeholders within our ecosystem to help with that mentoring. But it certainly needs to be strengthened. Conditioning needs to continue because that still leaves a gap from what is expected and what actually happens.
Were advisors meant to be mentors? That might have been. I know some have become to some of their clients, but that was not really their role.
No, it wasn't. And usually the advisors really was just looking at the numbers, the business, those elements. But mentorship takes a different tone, right? And so some of them just have become innately that mentor to the entrepreneur. It's because if you think about your business, it's personal to you. And so when someone is pouring out all of their details, their successes, but then also their failures and challenges, that becomes personal. So sharing that with an advisor, you build that level of relationship that just automatically happens, right? It's organic. And so sometimes I think that that's the best recipe for effective mentorship. And so you don't want to stick two individuals together that just doesn't fit. But you're correct. That was not the initial plan, but it kind of evolved that way. Yeah.
Well, from what you're seeing, advice that you'd give to entrepreneurs out there, based on those who come forward seeking grants or loans, what would you tell them? Some things that they shouldn't be doing, some things that they should be doing. What do you say?
Well, there are a couple of things. So with all of our awardees or funding awards, it goes through a program. Whether it's for grant, whether it's through a business loan or equity structure, everything goes through a program. And with that, there are requirements. There's a criteria. So it is not a foregone conclusion the minute that you submit an application for a grant and expect to be approved. And so there is a level of effort. Granted, the effort varies across the programs. So, for example, grant programs, we usually request either a pitch deck or an executive summary, something varying along those lines. But if you don't put sufficient effort to tell your story about your business, use of funds, and how it impacts, then, there's a challenge there. The more, as you would call it, rigorous process comes along with the guaranteed loan program, where it does require a business plan. It requires going through that vetting process. And so that then also requires what we call the investment committee. And that's not made up of just SBDC team members. That's made up of representatives from financial institutions, industry experts, et cetera. And so you then have to pitch your business plan, your concept, not only pitch that, but then you also have to defend it, because they would have received it, reviewed it, and be prepared to highlight where there may be deficiencies or there may be things that you may not have considered. And so you have to be prepared to not only, describe what it is that you're attempting to do, but then also defend it. What I would say, my single most important advice to any entrepreneur, whether you're applying for grant and or a business loan, and sometimes even with the business loan, the process can be as quick as we have control over. And what I mean by that is we tend to have some level of control with our internal process. Granted, if the entrepreneur is willing with the business plan and, being very interactive and engaging. And then once we send it out to our pool of FIs, it's really up to the FI to determine whether or not this is something that they want to invest in. Of course, with some coaching and phone calls and following up with them. But nonetheless, so my single one important, I think, advice would be is to not give up. So sometimes things do take longer than we would want them to take. Something that we would want to take a day may take 2 weeks, and for that's a lifetime to us. Because again, someone's business is their life. This is personal to them. And so I think, we want the public to know that we hold it just as personal as you do. And so we are in the background making sure that we do the best as we can to move that forward. But don't give up. And when it comes to grant applications, again, it's not a foregone conclusion. Our grant programs are always oversubscribed. And so we get the calls all the time. I was denied. I've applied twice. I didn't get, grant funding. And there's only so much funds to go around for each grant program. And so I would say not to give up.
Yeah.
That would be my single most important advice.
I'm curious, what's the shortest length of time you've seen so far, and what's the longest before somebody gets sorted out?
Well, in terms of the guaranteed loan program, a week.
Oh, wow, okay.
We've seen it a week.
I mean, was that a low number that they were requesting getting funding for?
No.
A week?
Yeah, we've seen a week. Circumstances, entrepreneur came with their business plan. It was almost near perfect, so needed some adjustments. We went through the deficiencies back and forth as quickly as possible. Got it to the investment committee. And then send it out to the FIs. And that was just within one of those areas that was top of mind for the FI. And so it happened. And so it was almost like all of those variables were aligned. Right? And so we've seen as short as a week, and, we've seen long for some others. It could be where, a business plan was done, everything. It's viable. Internal scoring was high. It matched it went to the investment committee and got approved, and it went to the FIs and it didn't move. Not until 6 months, 8 months later, we sent it back out and it was picked up. Because things has shifted in that industry and now it's top of mind.
Okay.
And so that's something that they wanted to invest in. So we've had those types of circumstances occur.
Yeah. So that was going to be one of my questions. Are there sectors, industries where there are challenges, like, you're going to be less likely to get approval for a grant or a loan here?
Right. So it goes back to what I said earlier, though. Not everything can go through that traditional mechanism with a bank, right? The bank looks at a couple of things, fixed assets, right? And those types of elements that, they want to make sure that their investment is secure. And so there are some businesses, there are some sectors that just won't work through that traditional form. Also, to the amount of monies as well as rate of return. Right? So those are some of the things that they look at. And so there could be a business, very viable, great concept, but in the first 3 or so years, the rate of return is not as good as they would like it. And every FI has a different, we call it profile. So perhaps then we should look at a different funding mechanism for this particular business. It could very well, okay, how do we do this in a phased approach? And perhaps some grant funding may be able to support initially and then take you to the next phase where we could possibly go through a financial institution, right? Or it could very well be perhaps this won't work with a commercial bank. And great enough, we've onboarded some credit unions that would take this on. And so, we would then share it with the credit union as increased probability for approval. So we look at each financial institution's profile, what is at top of mind for them from an industry standpoint, what it is that they're looking to fund. But then also from an SBDC standpoint, what are some of those top industries that we're prepared to increase our guarantee on? And some of those are around manufacturing, clean energy, tourism, eco-tourism, cultural experiences. So those are some of the factors that we're looking at.
So are there ones that you can say, like, you're going to have a challenge? Like,
yes.
Yeah.
And we've had to.
You're not going to say?
No, because I. No, I'm not gonna say.
Okay, just keep trying, and you'll work it out. You'll try to work it out. Don't give up. Don't be discouraged. Okay, I was trying to ask that 3 different ways. You saw that, Chester? But
I think some of the industries.
Samantha won't say. All right, that's fine. But never give up. Never give up. You'd be surprised. Things can turn quickly.
Correct. Or there's different ways in which to do it. Again, SBDC is one of a few organizations out there that are supporting. I'm a bit biased. I think we do it the best, but there are different ways in which you can combine your resources in order to get the result that you want. Sometimes we just have to be creative in doing so.
Okay. Let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the future. You made some announcements last week. Chester Robards wrote a story getting deeper into that. We're going to talk about this and where you see SBDC in another 5 years and beyond. We're talking with Samantha Roll with SBDC. This is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
This our 50th Jubilee, we continue to celebrate 50 years of a small country that continues to do big things. This year at Character Day, we celebrate people who have love for country, those that protect and nurture our environment, those who are dedicated and provide care and hope, and those that continue to inspire through challenges and hard times. Help us to celebrate 50 people just like these. Until September 30th, log on to CharacterDayBahamas.org and nominate your hidden hero today as we spread the power of love.
Earning zero interest on your savings at the bank? With as little as $100, you can start earning interest on your money while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank with the CFAL Savings Express Plan. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
You've tried everything. ASUS with your mother's cousin's sister's auntie, and even hiding your money under your mattress. But is your money safe? Your Bahamian dollar deposit in a member bank or credit union is insured up to $50,000. If anything happens, your deposit up to the insured value will be returned to you thanks to Deposit Insurance. Visit Deposit Insurance Corporation at www.dic.bs.
Protection for your money guaranteed with DIC.
Too many debt bills? Overdue on loan payments? Improve your credit score and credit report with the Bahamas Credit Bureau. Shrink your debt payments with a debt consolidation loan and built-in savings that pays you 5% interest. Call 356-7764.
Ready to save? You can put $100 into the CFAL Savings Express Plan and make sure your money keeps growing. Earn interest on your savings while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
Doctors Hospital has reimagined primary care.
We have invested to improve our health system, ensuring that accessible, affordable, world-class clinical care is closer to you. We understand that your relationship with a primary care provider shapes the foundation of your overall health. Our new modern primary care facilities are where critical diagnoses and true personalized treatment begins. With locations across New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Exuma, we invite you to experience the Doctors Hospital difference. Book your next appointment at clinics.doctorshosp.com.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Welcome back to Morning Blood Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're having a great conversation off air. Dwight Strachan, Chester Robards.
Didn't people tell you to stop saying that if you ain't gonna tell them what the conversation is about?
Well, when we launch the Paper Listen platform, they'll be able to hear those. Samantha Roll, the Executive Director of Small Business Development Center, is with us. SBDC, Access Accelerator, celebrating their 5th anniversary this month, last week, to be exact. And some announcements. You gave an address at the event that at the anniversary event that you had, and you made some announcements. Let's talk about that, where you see A Squared SBDC going, and what we can expect over the next 5 years.
Okay. So some of the announcements or highlights that were shared was, one, the improvement that we've done, particularly in our guaranteed loan program over the past 18 months. And I think it was notable to share that, for 2023, in our tracking of our performance, we would have done more than what was done in the first 3 years of operation. And that has to do with our approval rates, has to do with the funding amount. And so to date, again, a combination of grant, loan, equity, funding, we would have funded in the tune of $85.1 million. And I think that's a tremendous success to celebrate. It's a great milestone, and it speaks to where SBDC is headed. Again, we go beyond just providing funding. And so that does not include the number of training hours and mentorship that we've done. It doesn't include, some of the other connections within our ecosystem that we have fostered. But it does highlight the fact that the team works diligently every day to support over 2,000 funded clients. Again, that's funded clients. So we would have supported well over thousands of clients who have sought SBDC just for the training itself, and the advisory services. Some of the other things that, we shared that evening, which we are so excited about, was, for us, we are providing advice to our clients about how to evolve in their operations, how to make it more robust, efficient, and effective. And some of that involves technology. And so for us to be giving that advice, you would think that the SBDC would be an example of that as well. And so we, within our own internal mechanisms machinery, have fostered a number of process improvement projects to become automated, to properly track what it is that we're doing within our own processes. And one of the things that we have been able to do, and which would be launched shortly, is our very own fintech platform. And that was part or one of the components in partnership with the IDB to make sure that the SBDC itself isn't operating manual mechanisms, right? So currently we look at business plans. Those things are emailed or, in those types of manual process. And it's a matter of between emailing, paper, phone calls, right? And that's back and forth with the FI. That could be back and forth with the client themselves. Whereas we've created or developed this platform that would allow us to interface with not only the clients, but also the financial institutions. And so everyone can use one platform to view the document. The document itself, the platform is supposed to be smart enough to, based on our criteria that we've uploaded, to assess and score the business plan. And so allowing some assistance, because we don't want to eliminate human intervention at all, but allowing some technology to assist us in the process, again, trying our best to remove those delays and those gaps and streamlines and improve the efficiency. So we're super excited about that. We're testing it out again, making some adjustments and testing it along with, a pilot FI. And we expect that to be in place by the end of the year. And so fully operational in the early part of 2024. So we're super excited about that. The other technological intervention that is coming is our SBDC marketplace. And so that's essentially our e-commerce platform. So again, we're trying to figure out, okay, how do we support our clients? How do we get those businesses not only more exposed within the local market, the domestic market, but then also internationally? And of course, everything you can do in terms of purchasing at the click of your finger, whether it's your phone or your laptop or anything of the sort. And so creating this SBDC marketplace would then afford a number of entrepreneurs to sell their products and even their services on a digital platform. And so we're developing that. We're testing out with a small group of entrepreneurs to start to iron out those kinks. But that would be launched early part of 2024 as well. And so we're in the background already have that, being developed, tested. And as part of it, we know that we want to make sure that those entrepreneurs also have what we would call some branding audit. So again, you're going out to the world. We want to make sure that you have your products properly displayed. So we would make sure that we onboard or we source any type of product photographer who can help us to make sure that we are displaying your products properly, that the link to your website or your social media pages are up to par, because then persons will have that gateway into your business. And so we are eager to get those entrepreneurs on that platform as well and see how that works.
Yeah. That's a big problem here, right? We talked about it on the show yesterday, people who have websites, but the last post was, right, this is an antiquated Facebook page or website, dysfunctional or not functioning at all.
Yeah.
Don't understand how that is allowed to happen, but boy. All right, and this is an interesting text here. This person's asking, can you help if I want to pass on my business to my children, the succession plan? I'm an entrepreneur with good banking relations, but I guess the children don't know much about administration and banking, but willing to learn. My business is now 40 years old. What input can you give? Have you heard a request like that before?
Well, we talk about it with our entrepreneurs in terms of sustainability, right? Particularly with the more mature entrepreneurs. And the question is always, well, okay, what happens to your business, right? We know that you're at a certain age. What happens to your business? Or even outside of the age factor, things happen, life happens. How does your business continue? So we do provide some guidance with that. The question would be for that particular scenario is whether or not, and I believe he or she may have said it, the children or the person is prepared to take on that business, and at what level they are in understanding that business and prepared to take it on to sustain. And so if they are willing, then we would be happy to guide them along the way. But yes, we make sure that we engage with those that are the owners of the business, though, because any decisions, any direction of that has to come from those who are vested, those who are owners of that business. But we do support, we do provide guidance for those. So if they wanted to come to the SBDC and engage us, we would try to understand what their circumstances and provide some level of guidance in that regard.
Mm-hmm. I think you mentioned it at the event, but Chester Robards wrote about it definitely this week about crowdfunding and SBDC going in this direction. Tell us about that and recent events. Will that slow down how quickly you roll this out, or what can you tell us?
No, I wouldn't necessarily look at one particular event or circumstance and say that it should roll out for another, because we don't know the elements of that, right? So there are regulatory rules that should be followed. There is a framework and parameters in which persons within that space should operate. Granted, some may argue and say, hey, there's still some gaps within our regulations, and that's why we're seen as an environment in which people want to run to. Fair enough. And that's fair enough. But for us, it's really about, again, finding the different mechanisms to support entrepreneurs. And so for SBDC in its current structure, as I mentioned before, we are a nonprofit organization. So anyone operating within that crowdfunding space, we would need to create an entity that can be licensed in order to do so, following the parameters, the framework, and the regulatory rules of the Securities Commission. And so that doesn't take away from us still entering that space, right? We think that it is a viable mechanism for small businesses, particularly because that's what we want to do it for. Again, because some entities, they vary within the scale in which they want to operate. What we were looking at is how do we then support those looking for funding $1 million and below, right? When we're thinking about this crowdfunding structure. And that we would have to create the entity, like I said, to be able to be licensed to operate within that space. For us, it's a matter of, okay, do we have the capital to do that right now? Or do we have the capital to do that in the future? And so we do see that as a future intervention that we would want to explore.
How far into the future do you?
Yeah, I had estimated in about, another 2 years. It could be less than that. But I think there are a few things that when we first mentioned it early on, and I think that may have been about 18 months ago. Yeah, there were a number of other foundational things that we needed to address. And I think it's important for us, instead of piling on all of these, buzz structures, to really focus on building a strong foundation within our entity and then branch off. And so we first wanted to build and strengthen our fundamental structure. Do the assessment, which we completed a business case to understand how that would work. And in also doing that, we were looking to do that with a strategic partner. And so making sure that we have the agreements along those lines with that strategic partner to make it work. So again, I see that probably within the next 2 years, and it could be shorter, but that's not something that we want to take on in this very moment in 2024.
Okay.
I think the big thing for people is are in the future, will people be jaded by the situations that have occurred?
Perhaps not. I think people are jaded now.
Yeah.
Right? Even when you start talking about cryptocurrency, right? So I think over time, there's a level of education that should happen. And I believe that in any space, persons can become jaded based on one circumstance. But you need to understand the variables within that circumstance, right? And I say that because all of the details will tell the story, right? And so how we look at it is, once everyone is well educated, because I'm not an expert within that field. And so I look at those who are experts within that sphere to kind of help and advise and direct. That's one element. The other element is the cost, right? Some would say, well, it only takes about 10 grand to stand up this platform. Actually, there are some other ancillary costs that should be considered. And then there's also the cost of how do we then get the messaging out there with a jaded public.
Right. Yeah.
Wow. So what is next? What is the immediate thing you're going to be working on as we move to 10 years of SBDC? Or what can we expect at this moment going forward?
Okay, so let's talk about this week.
Okay.
So I wanted to share that we have a team out in Eleuthera. And so the team, so we're talking about renewable energy, we're talking about climate resilience, we're talking about all of these things that are, that impact our cost of energy, because we all can, have our experiences.
Oh,
I've
wow.
heard you talk about your BPL
Lord.
bill.
That's all he talks about.
That's all he talks about. But, in our effort to try and help with, cutting down the emissions and becoming more efficient. And so we've created this electric vehicle roadshow, and we started it in Eleuthera. So we have a team in Eleuthera doing some town halls, actually doing a roadshow with Easy Car. So we have a fleet of electric vehicles in Eleuthera, and they've been there. Their first stop was in North Eleuthera on September 26th. So Central Eleuthera at Workers' House Hall is September 27th. Right, which is today. And so they will have the town hall of the session at 6 p.m. And then we go to South Eleuthera at the Eleuthera Chamber of Commerce Hub, and that's on the 28th at 6 p.m. again. And that's showcasing these electric vehicles, talking with entrepreneurs who may be interested in switching their fleets and how we can support them for them to transition, whether it's one vehicle or it's a fleet of vehicles for electric cars. And so, that's something that we're doing in the immediate. Over the course of the 2023, we've done a number of initiatives. We would have mentioned the Renewable Energy Initiative, the Creative Entrepreneurs Initiative. We've done the Women's Entrepreneur Initiative. We are about to launch the Young Entrepreneur Initiative soon. And those initiatives are set to run over a course of 3 years.
Okay.
And for each time, we're going to make sure that within that space, within that grouping, that we help to support in various ways, right? So the Creative Entrepreneurs was a focus on intellectual property. Perhaps there's another element there we would want to focus on next year in 2024, which there is, but we're not going to announce that yet.
Okay.
Right? Women's Entrepreneurs was one of our most popular, was a big initiative for us. We're coming back in 2024 with another program just for women. Right? There are some other things that we're looking at, such as housing. Right, so that's another big thing. And what are the value chain within that housing concept? It's construction. It could be those who are constructing smart homes, those who are constructing homes that have the energy efficient mechanisms attached to it. And so helping entrepreneurs within that space. Beyond 2024, the next thing is, SBDC really is expanding. We're expanding our services. And so our vision is to have this one-stop hub, location, office hub. And so we are looking for a home to where we can create this space where, even entrepreneurs can come in and ideate, right? Use that space to ideate, where even we may have, one of our or a few of our FIs in-house or representatives in-house, where we have elements of, we can do the workshops, the training, on site. We can have a number of our events on site. And so we're looking to do that one-stop hub, that one-stop innovation hub, so to speak. We're also looking to strengthen our relationship in academia. So whether it's with the University of the Bahamas and creating these innovation clubs at the universities, but then also connecting with BTVI, because entrepreneurship transcends, in all areas and all spaces. And so wanting to make sure that we have a relationship with BTVI and create that entrepreneurial channel for anyone there, for any of their students. And so that educational element is something that we're certainly focused on as well.
Excellent.
And young people. And so we're going to launch the Young Entrepreneurs Initiative. But then how do we get into that conditioning much earlier, right? And so looking into creating programs across high schools and getting, our architects at that very ripe age to start thinking about entrepreneurship, critical thinking, and building and conditioning from then.
Excellent. We've got about 30 seconds. Someone's asking, how do I make an appointment to see Ms. Roll to discuss a project?
It ain't quite how it works.
Directly with you, right? No, not like that. But SBDC.
Yes. So SBDC, you can reach it our phone number is 461-SBDC-7232. So any one of our brilliant client service liaisons can connect you with an advisor or even connect you with me. I do speak with clients. I do meet with clients. And then certainly I'm supported by a great team. Felice Bethel is awesome, Leo Roll, and there are a few others that engage our clients. You can look at us across our social media platforms and help desk at spdcbahamas.com. Those are mechanisms in which you can reach out to us.
Yeah, absolutely. Samantha Roll, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for being here this morning. Happy anniversary again to SBDC.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hopefully we'll talk again soon.
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to take a quick break and then be back with more Morning Event Business here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Ready to save? You can put $100 into the CFAL Savings Express Plan and make sure your money keeps growing. Earn interest on your savings while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit cfal.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
It is time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. There are many people in the labor market seeking jobs based on the some 3,000 who applied to work at the refurbished British Colonial Hotel. That's according to Director of Labor Robert Farquharson. He told Guardian Business that there are other projects in the pipeline that he couldn't mention so far, but that they will attract job seekers. But he did explain that in December, Royal Caribbean International will begin to hire for its private island, Coco Key, after having already hired roughly 130 people so far. You can read more about this in today's Guardian Business section. The Bahamas has developed into a luxury destination. That's according to Graham Davis, president of Bahamar. He told Guardian Business that with the International Luxury Travel Market North America Conference mulling a multi-year stint at Bahamar, there will be thousands of eyes on the Bahamas who have the pulse of the multi-million-dollar luxury travel industry at their fingerprints. The very first ILTM conference wrapped up last week with luxury travel professionals from Canada, the U.S., and South America coming together for one-on-one meetings and networking events. For some of those travel professionals, this was their first trip to the Bahamas, and for some, it was their first taste of Bahamar. You can read more about that in today's Guardian Business section as well. And the government, through its Innovate 242 initiative, has entered into a partnership with Canada-based Grocers Modular Food Solutions. According to a statement, the innovation in growing food that grocers will provide will be first implemented at the Bahamas Agriculture and Marine Science Institute, BAMSI, in Andros. The partnership coming to be because of a mission to Ottawa, Canada in February, led by Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, Chester Cooper. The statement says that Grocer's mission is to make local, fresh produce accessible to all. Cooper says that his government is also focused on food sustainability and accessibility to Bahamians. In your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Tuesday, your market movers, first Fidelity Bank moving 140 shares, closing at $17.75 unchanged. Full call moving 12,000 unchanged at $4.49. Consolidated Water up 6 cents, closing at $5.91. Emira Incorporated down 29 cents, closing at $9.08. The BISX All Share Index closing at 2,768.70 unchanged. That's your Market Watch, and that is your Morning Business Report, brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. And that's going to do it for us today. Chester Robards, thank you so much for being here with us this morning.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll see you next week. I'll be back tomorrow morning with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan, have a great day, everybody. Stay tuned for On the Clock.